periodictable.com. So this is what we love to hear from you guys. So we're doing our best to get iPads out there like crazy, and I know a lot of you are doing your best to get your apps out on the iPad, and I think it's a really fantastic combination. Now, I'd like to tell you about one of our apps that we're updating today, which is iBooks on the iPad. You all know iBooks. Many people think it's the best ebook reader in the world. It's got this great bookshelf for keeping your books, and of course, the iBookstore for buying books online. I've got a few stats today for you. In the first 65 days, users have downloaded over 5 million books, and that is about 2.5 books per iPad, which is terrific. The other interesting thing is the 5 of the 6 biggest publishers in the US who have their books on the iBookstore tell us that the share of ebooks now that are going through the iBookstore is about 22%. So iBooks' market share now of ebooks from these 5 of these 6 major publishers is up to 22% in just about 8 weeks. And as we ship more iPads, that number is just going to keep going up and up and up. And we're really thrilled with it. So we've got some enhancements to iBooks today. The first is, as you know, you can create highlights and highlight the things you want. You can also now make notes. So you can make notes right there, and you can post them. You can see them posted right on the right over there. In addition to that, we've added a control in the upper right-hand corner. You can just tap and bookmark the page, and you can see that bookmark whether or not the controls are up there. And when you go to the table of contents and look under bookmarks, you'll see all the pages that are bookmarked and all the notes that you've created, as well as the highlights. So that's pretty nice. It's an oft-requested feature now in iBooks. We've added another big enhancement, too. One of the biggest requests we've gotten for the iPad is the ability to view and read PDFs. So we've built that now right into iBooks. In addition to books, you can now view PDFs. And what we've done is we've put a little selector right up on the top, and so you can select between books and PDFs. When you select PDFs, you get a whole new bookshelf just for PDFs. And when you select one, they just look gorgeous. And you can navigate through them, you can flick through them, and they're just gorgeous on the iPad. So PDF viewing built right into iBooks, and that's what we've done to enhance it today, and that enhancement will be out just a little bit later this month. So that is my update for the iPad. Next, I'd like to talk about the App Store, something near and dear to all of us. Now, before I get into the App Store, I want to make something really clear. We support 2 platforms at Apple. 2. The first one is HTML5. HTML5 is a fully open, uncontrolled platform that is forged and defined by widely respected standards bodies. Apple is a member of some of these standards bodies, along with lots of other companies. And we fully support HTML5. A lot of the technology in it has come from Apple, and Apple's browsers are in the lead in terms of supporting the full HTML5 standard. So we are behind this 100%, and it's fully open. Anyone can write HTML5 apps and have them on the iPad, the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and of course the Mac. The second platform we support is the App Store. The App Store is a curated platform with over now 225,000 apps, and it is the most vibrant app community on the planet. There's nowhere else you can go and find 225,000 apps, and some of them are just terrific apps. So we have these 2 platforms that we support. And what I'd like to do now is talk about the App Store. Now, you've read a lot about our process of approving apps. Let me give you some of the facts behind this. might be interesting to you. We get about 15,000 apps submitted every week. That's new apps, that's updates to apps, everything, about 15,000 a week. And they come in up to 30 different languages that we support. 15,000 apps a week, up to 30 languages. Guess what? 95% of all the apps we get submitted are approved within 7 days. 95% of them approve within 7 days. Well, what about the 5% that aren't? Why don't we approve these apps? Well, let me give you the 3 top reasons. There's more, but these are the 3 top ones. The number 1 reason, the app doesn't function as advertised. It doesn't do what the developer says it does. So we reject it, and we say, you said it did this, it does this. Change your description or change your app, but it doesn't do what you told us it did. The second reason is use of private APIs. We're very clear on this. Developers can't use private APIs. Why not? Because when we change the OS, those private APIs are not guaranteed not to change, and if they change, the app will break, and we'll have a very unhappy customer, right? If they upgrade their OS and half their apps break, they're not going to be happy campers. So you can't use private APIs. And developers that use private APIs, of course, know exactly what they're doing. So, and the third reason we reject apps, the third most frequent reason, they crash. So I think if you were in our shoes, you would be rejecting these apps for the same 3 reasons. Even with all of this, 95% of these apps are approved within 7 days. So I just wanted to give you those facts. Sometimes when you read some of these articles, you think something different was going on. But 95% of these apps get approved within 7 days. Now, I'd like to highlight one of them for a moment, eBay. eBay came out with a great app on the iPhone last year. And eBay's CEO, John Donahoe, made this statement last week at the D conference. We launched the eBay application on the iPhone last year, 10 million downloads. It did $600 million of volume its first year. It's going to do $1.5 billion to $2 billion this year. Wow. Would we all be this successful? This is fantastic. Well, it's my pleasure now to show you 3 new apps that are going to be on the App Store soon. They're all in the entertainment category, and I'm sure they're all aspiring to this kind of success as well. The first one is Netflix. Netflix on the iPhone, and it's my pleasure to introduce Netflix CEO Reed Hastings.